Hello, everybody. Welcome to Libertarian Front. I'm your host, Joe Palmetto. Today, we're going to look at Senator Rand Paul's big announcement that he made yesterday. So I made a video the other day because he had gone on Twitter and said he was going to make a big announcement. And I speculated that maybe he was going to announce as a VP for one of the presidential candidates, something along those lines. But it turned out to be quite a little bit different, but still a little bit fun. So what I want to do is we're going to watch and see what his big announcement was. He said it was an announcement regarding the upcoming election, presidential election. He's been quiet on the presidential race, and Senator Rand Paul, one of the most libertarian, if not the most libertarian senators in the United States Senate and in Congress, period. So we're going to listen to what he had to announce, and we're going to break it down. If you like my content, please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Free way to support the show. I'm trying to grow this channel, so any and all support would be appreciated. And before we dig into the good stuff, everybody raise your cup, your glass in the air. Cheers with me. It tastes better when we sip together. Cheers. I'm enjoying some coffee on this snowy day in Pittsburgh, PA. All right, what did the senator have to say?
So I'm announcing this morning that I'm Never Nikki. And if you go to nevernikki.net, you can let her know that you're not a supporter either. I don't think any informed or knowledgeable libertarian or conservative should support Nikki Haley. I've seen her attitude towards our interventions overseas. I've seen her involvement in the military-industrial complex, $8 million being paid to become part of the team. But I've also seen her indicate that she thinks you should be registered to use the internet, that people posting ideas anonymously. I think she fails to understand that our republic was founded upon people like Ben Franklin, Sam Adams, Madison, John Jay, and others who posted routinely. For fear of the government, they posted routinely anonymously. So I'm announcing today I'm Never Nikki. You can go to nevernikki.net and sign up and show her that you're Never Nikki also.
Okay, so we may have to take a look at that. Let's look real quick here. nevernikki.net. And let's see what this site is. Okay, they got that. They got the little announcement by Senator Paul right on there. And he set this up. Look down here. Oh, I don't know if you guys can see it in the screen. Hold on. Let me try to fix it a little bit. Okay. I got to move it up. Let's move it up. Let me move it up. He's the one that set this website up. Paid for. Look down here at the bottom. Paid for by Rand Paul for United States Senate. So let's break down exactly what he's talking about here, right? Like, what exactly is he talking about? And how does it pertain to libertarianism?
This morning that I'm never...
So, the first thing he mentions is interventionism and the military-industrial complex. Now, a core libertarian principle is non-interventionism. Now, that can be interpreted, that can be open to interpretation, right? Like, I don't think any libertarian is going to say that their country, the United States military, should never get involved. But what a libertarian in actions or things that happen overseas, right? I think majority of libertarians are going to tell you that World War II was a cause that we should have got involved with. But they're going to sit there and tell you that before we project United States military power across the world, a very diverse and large world with hundreds of different countries, that the core principle should be, and perhaps this goes, I think, in a lot of ways, and perhaps this goes to Rand Paul himself, because he's an ophthalmologist, an eye doctor. First, do no harm. First, do no harm. Before you are going to intervene with your military, first, do no harm. Make sure that such intervention is absolutely necessary, because there have been so many interventions by the United States military that I don't believe in the end turned out to be a good thing either for the United States or the rest of the world, right? And we could analyze a lot of the U.S. military interventions throughout the years. I think most Americans would agree. The Vietnam War is perhaps the prime example, right? The whole concept there is the dominoes, and we have to stop communism, and any good libertarian is opposed to communism. But to dedicate hundreds of thousands of United States citizens to fight a war in a country like Vietnam, where we don't even have the support of their own people, is just wild. It's just wild. And think about all the people that died in that war. The not only the United States citizens, but the Vietnamese people who died in that war. And were we listening to the principle of first do no harm? So libertarians are very, very skeptical of military intervention. And Nikki Haley, when you hear her talk, she appears to be a part of the neoconservative movement, and these are conservative politicians or members of this field of thought that believes that United States power should be projected overseas in order to do things like spread democracy, or just in order to get a country to become more aligned with the West. Okay, and a lot of this has led to a lot of senseless and needless chaos. So libertarians stand in stark contrast to I think the neoconservative point of view, and you have to first do no harm. I mean, military intervention is a huge step. I mean, people die when the U.S. military gets involved. So you shouldn't whimsily or easily decide to send United States troops to war. That's where the non-intervention part comes in. Then we have the military-industrial complex, and this was pointed out. There was this interesting. I can't remember who I was watching, whether it was Vivek, whether it was Ramaswamy, one of the Republican candidates, and Mitch McConnell was asked about the billions of dollars that we're sending to Ukraine, and he basically laughed it off, and he said, "Well, the money is not actually going to Ukraine; it's going to United States contractors. So it's going to our United States companies, which are building and designing and shipping the weapons that the Ukrainians are using. So companies like Raytheon or Northrop Grumman, and I'm not sure exactly which companies. Okay, I haven't looked into this in detail, but that's what he's talking about, these United States military weapons contractors. Now, I believe in a very, very strong, I believe in a very strong military for the United States, but that shouldn't be part of the justification, right? Like, oh, it's okay that we're spending this money because it's going to United States companies. No, again, you have to first think about the first do no harm principle. It should be about principles, and it should be about whether this is the right moral stand to take on something that's happening on the globe, and if it's in the United States national interest. It shouldn't just be laughed off that we're spending this money because the money is going to these military contractors. And these military contractors, they exist to propagate war. And so, war is profitable for them. And so, it's dangerous. It's dangerous to justify the spending of money by saying, oh, it's going to United States military contractors, because it creates a symbiotic relationship between government and the manufacturers of weapons, wherein a war, whether it be a United States war or a war in another country that we're supporting, is being propagated because of the profit and the revenue that the companies are making. Like the war, right? The military industrial contractors who are making money off the Ukraine war, why would they want a ceasefire? Why would they want peace? Why would they want people's lives to be saved, right? So we have to think very critically about that. And I think Nikki Haley has worked for defense contractors. Maybe we can look more closely at that. Ramaswamy has talked, but I believe she has worked for military contractors before. So again, her interests are questionable and not in line with libertarian views. Next, we have to take, what did he say about the internet? Now, I don't know if she wants people to be registered just to use the internet, but she does believe that people should not have anonymous accounts on social media. And she's trying to get rid of a particular evil there, these anonymous accounts that really really do spread a lot of disinformation and cause a lot of harm. However, what's the flip side of that, right? Like, should the government start to get involved in whether social media sites allow people to be anonymous or not? And from a libertarian point of view, the greater harm is giving the government the power to regulate those things rather than having people who can post anonymously, who compete in the marketplace of ideas. And he makes a good point. The founding fathers of this country, sometimes people won't share an idea that could be extremely beneficial unless they are anonymous. And if you no longer give people the power to be anonymous, those ideas will be put to death, and those ideas may never come to the forefront. So it's an anti-free speech principle, and again, libertarians believe in strong fundamental individual rights like the freedom of speech. So, Nikki Haley's very neocon, establishment, conservative, and in many, many ways, she just barely even has. She's very, very pro use of government in almost all manners. And that just stands in stark contrast, I think, to not only good libertarian, but a good conservative, and also libertarians on the left who want to protect individual rights. So I think that's what he meant. So, and I just wanted to provide some context for his comments and hopefully enlighten you on these comments a little bit and his criticism of Nikki Haley. Lots more fun content to come on Libertarian Front. I might look more into Rand Paul. We're going to look at Robert Kennedy. We're going to look at classic libertarians. We're going to look at the ideas and where politics today are with libertarianism. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. My name is Joe Palmetto. If you like my content, please like, subscribe, comment, share. Really trying to get subscribers and likes right now and views so that my channel can grow and become monetized. All right, everybody, have a great day. Thank you.